What is up, you guys? So in this video we're going to be talking about the 2020 Nissan Maxima. So this is Nissan's midsize, supposedly sport sedan. So this is their flagship family sedan, just right above the Altima. So basically their top of the line sedan that has been competing with the likes of the Toyota Avalon, which is also still a really good run for the money. Now again, this being Nissan's flagship 4-door sports sedan, they have filled this car up with all the latest and greatest technology. You also get a lot of power under the hood, and even some sporty tuned driving dynamics. But without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's see what this Maxima has to offer for 2020, and does it still stack up against the competition. Okay, so starting off in the front, looking at the grille, you will still find Nissan's signature V-Motion grille. Then moving over to the headlights, they are fully LED, which is nice, standard across all trims. And then below the headlights are some fog lights. Now you only get the fog lights if you choose the SR or the Platinum trim levels. Now the fog lights, which are also LED, are enclosed in these black housings, which really do contrast well with the other blacked out parts on this car, which we'll get to later. And inside the Nissan emblem is a very nicely, seamlessly blended in safety camera that makes all the 360 safety shield technology work together. So that pretty much sums it up for the front end of the Maxima. But now let's talk about the different trim levels that you get with the Maxima. So of course you have the base Model S that starts at $34,450, followed by the slightly more expensive SV, which starts at $36,650. Then you have the mid-trim level, the SL, that starts at $38,840. Then you have the sporty oriented SR trim level, which starts at $41,650. And then finally, the top of the line platinum trim level, which starts at $41,840. Now when you open the hood of the Maxima, it is the same 3.5 liter V6 engine, which puts out an impressive 300 horsepower with 261 pounds-feet of torque. And that is routed to Nissan's Xtronic CVT transmission, which we'll talk about later. Also now I think it's time that I mention MPGs in my car videos. So with this Maxima, you can expect to get 20 in the city and 30 on the highway. You can expect to get to 60 at just right below 6 seconds at 5.7 seconds. And this is a front wheel drive car only. The Maxima does not believe in all-wheel drive, unfortunately. Now moving over to the side of the Maxima, you will find Nissan's signature floating roof design, which in fact did start on the Maxima, then migrated to other Nissan models. So they were one of the first to introduce this floating roof design trend. And then when you move down to the mirrors, they are fully blacked out across all trim levels, which do have LED turn signals built into them. They are also heated across all trim levels, as well as your blind spot monitoring system. But only exclusive to the SR and Platinum trim levels, they are auto dimming. Now when you move down to the wheels, you will see that they are fully blacked out on this SR trim. Now these blacked out wheels are only exclusive to the SR because on all the other trims, you get traditional looking wheels. Now on the SR and Platinum trim levels, they are 19-inch wheels, but as for the other trim levels, you get 18-inch wheels instead. Now across all trim levels, these wheels are hooked up to a CVT transmission. And speaking of CVT in this car, while it does have all its pros, the Maxima, being a so-called sports sedan, shouldn't have the CVT in my opinion. It just does not belong in this car. I feel like Nissan should have gone with a more traditional automatic transmission. And then moving to the rear of the Maxima, the first thing that might stand out to you is that blacked out spoiler, which is only exclusive to the SR trim level, and that gives this SR a more sporty look, while the other trim levels have a more conservative look. Then moving down to the tail lights, they are fully LED, which is nice. And then on the tailgate, you have a nice chrome bar that kind of contrasts with the overall luxury feel of the Maxima. Also, that tailgate is not power lifting, so you'll have to open it manually. But when you do open the tailgate, you will find 14.3 cubic feet of space, and that should be an adequate amount of space for most of you out there. So if you look below the tailgate, you will see a blacked out portion on this SR trim level, whereas on the other trim levels, they are chrome. Right below that are quad exhausts. Now moving into the interior of the Maxima. This interior is actually what you would find in the Platinum Reserve trim level. These seats are made of semi-aniline diamond quilted leather, and it's in this color called Mercure de Tan, which is reserved for the Platinum Reserve trim level. You see what I did there? Now as you can see, even the steering wheel and the door armrests are finished in the same accent. As you can see, the door panels and some other parts of the interior have some nice color contrast stitching. Now when you move over to your infotainment system, as you can see, it's a pretty nice looking system. You look right above the screen, you will see you actually do have a CD player, which is a rare thing to find in a car these days. It's a rare thing to find, period. But if you still have some CDs laying around, you can still use them in this Maxima. Now back to the screen, it is an 8-inch screen, which isn't the biggest or the smallest, it's just right smack dab in the middle. It is also touchscreen, which is definitely nice. Once again, it does have the 360 camera system built into it, which is now standard on the SR trim level for 2020. It also has active trajectory, and the good news is that navigation is standard on every trim level but the base S trim level. So big plus to the Maxima for that. Also standard on every trim level of the Maxima are Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So I forgot to mention earlier in the video, if you didn't know already, that this was the Platinum Reserve trim level interior, which is basically the exact same thing as the SR's interior, except you have a new color that's only exclusive to this Platinum Reserve. Standard on every trim level are 8-way power adjusting seats with 2-way lumbar support, and then the SR and Platinum trim levels will have an extension in the front. So overall, very comfortable seats, really makes you feel like you're in a much more expensive car. Now one thing to keep in mind is that the Maxima is actually smaller than the Altima in terms of interior space, and even smaller than most of the competition. But even still being smaller than most, it is still very spacious, so no worries there. And that's mainly because this Maxima hasn't gotten a full refresh since 2016. So this is basically the same Maxima from 2016, just updated for 2020. But hopefully with a future refresh, we should get a bigger Maxima. So that pretty much sums up this Nissan Maxima. I have to say it's a pretty great alternative to the Toyota Avalon. It's got a lot of horsepower. You're probably going to have a blast driving this thing around. Other than a few missing things, such as all-wheel drive, a traditional automatic transmission, and maybe some heated parts of the interior, especially for a vehicle at this price point. So again, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving me a like. Do not hesitate to leave a comment because I will try to reply to any comments that you might have. If you want more car videos like this, definitely let me know in the comments below. I will definitely do more car videos. And also, feel free to give me suggestions of other cars I should make videos on. But other than that, thanks for watching.